Ravens fans. How you guys feeling? That the regular season is over? The playoffs are about to begin? Our team preparing ourselves for the divisional round of the playoffs? And ready to see Lamar Jackson take the field at M&T Bank Stadium for the playoffs? Are you all excited? Or are you nervous? How much trust, how much faith, how much confidence do you have in this team overall? Well, don't you guys worry. We're going to get straight into it. What's going on, everybody? DMV area back in the building with yet another video where today I'm here to talk about the Ravens preparing themselves for the playoffs. So, as you guys may have known, the Ravens are the number one seed in the AFC. They're the best team in the NFL as of lately. They come into 2 weeks of rest, 2 weeks of practice, 2 weeks of full recovery to get themselves ready for the playoffs. Early in the season, I had barely any faith. 5 weeks into the season, I barely had faith in these guys in making a deep run in the playoffs and eventually winning a Lombardi trophy. I reached that boiling point in week 5 when we had to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. If you guys remember, I went on a quick rant after the Ravens-Steelers game happened. And we lost in embarrassing fashion. I want you guys to take a look at this. This right here is my rant video back in week 5 when we had to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Check it out. And you will see how frustrated I am.
This year, I'm making it official right here. I'm going to make this official. And I don't care what anybody else says. I don't think this team is good enough to win a Lombardi trophy this year. And for any Ravens fan that came into the beginning of the year with Super Bowl aspirations, with championship expectations, with this whole new roster, the whole new offense, with a solid defense, as a whole, they're not good enough to win a Super Bowl.
That was back in week 5 when the Ravens were on the road against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Since that loss just happened, we go on to win 4 straight games, collapse against the Browns, but then proceed to go on and win 5 to 6 straight games because we beat the Bengals after that. We beat the Chargers on primetime as well, the Jaguars after the bye week, the Niners after that, Dolphins. So we proceed to go winning 9 out of our last 10 games on the year, which is very impressive. Like, Lamar Jackson in this passing game has improved to an MVP caliber led offense. More importantly, Coach Harbaugh is making the right decisions to win football games. And combined with a defense that's playing legit all year, we gone from a pretender in the postseason to a legitimate contender for a Super Bowl. And we'll just see if we can continue to sustain that ability to go deep in the playoffs and have that confidence soaring into greater heights. Now, early on today, right around 3:30 my time, I decided to listen in to the press conference that was held at Owings Mills, Maryland. I listened into Lamar Jackson in the press conference today. I took a little notes on what he had to say. He said that the focus for this week is to stay loose, focused, and prepared for the divisional round, which is exactly what they're doing in practice. In cold conditions, too. Don't get me wrong, it is getting colder and colder and colder in the city of Baltimore. he said that he's really happy to have Dalvin Cook on the team. If you guys cannot remember, the Ravens signed Dalvin Cook. They got him off waivers. He was asked a question on the difference between him back in 2019 and today, where he is at right now, at the age of 27. He says that at the age of 22, he had to stay locked in. But he also said he has a lot to look forward to. He has a lot to see and learn as he ages out. Last but not least, he was asked about a question about if he was going to watch that game between the Browns and the Texans. He said that he doesn't know if he's going to watch it, but what he does know, he's going to study film. That is what you want to hear out of an MVP caliber quarterback right there. Those were some notable questions that were asked to Lamar Jackson in today's press conference. As for the team in general, we're going to get some guys back from injury. We're going to get some guys that are going to get some reps in practice. That way they're going to get ready for the postseason. Kyle Hamilton's fully healthy. I know that our receiving core is going to be a full go. The tight ends, Isaiah Likely, Charlie Kolar, they're ready. They're ready to go. As for the running backs, Dalvin Cook, Melvin Gordon, I expect them to lead the way for this running back core and give the proper leadership to the team as a whole. For the coaching staff, I expect the coordinators to do their job. I expect John Harbaugh to do his part and hopefully follows his brother's path, Jim Harbaugh, shout out to Michigan, in going up to the big stage in Las Vegas starting 2 weeks from now in the playoffs. And obviously, Lamar Jackson. Jackson. I want him to go out there with full confidence. All he needs is trust in his guys, confidence in himself, and the ability to go out there and make plays happen. That's all he has to do. The offense has been increasingly getting better throughout the last 5 weeks. They dominated all the good teams this year. They beat down the Bengals twice. They went out there and beat down the Lions. They went out there and took down Seattle, even though that don't count that much. They took down the Jacksonville Jaguars. They took down the Niners in San Francisco. Santa Clara, to be specific. And recently, they beat down the Dolphins. Which brings me to my next point here. What team would I prefer the Ravens to see in the divisional round? Based on how the wild card matchups are aligned in the AFC? I see a big possibility right here, ladies and gentlemen, that the Baltimore Ravens would see their former quarterback that took them to Super Bowl 47 in New Orleans. And that's the man, Joe Flacco. He's on a team right now. He got off his couch and he's taking a team to the playoffs. With the arm talent that this guy still has, he's a legitimate threat. Him and the Cleveland Browns will match up against the Houston Texans on Saturday. Now, I'm going to tell you this right here. There is a big possibility, based on how I see those wild card matchups, the Ravens will potentially face off against the Browns in the first round of our playoff journey. And if that happens, I'm coming with confidence and nervousness flowing at the same time. Because what are you going to get out of the Ravens facing off against the Browns? We know how great this defense is with Myles Garrett and Zadarius Smith. We know how talented the receiving core is. And the run game too. And now they got Joe Flacco on their side. they're a dangerous team to face literally in the postseason. If Joe Flacco comes back to Baltimore, I'm going to be very intrigued to see this play out. And I'll get into playoff predictions for another video, by the way. So I see Ravens-Browns heading for a divisional round rematch for the third time. But who knows what's going to happen. I'll do playoff predictions, like I said, in another video. But yeah, the Ravens as a whole, they must stay loose, stay fit, watch the film, and be prepared for what's to come. I have full trust in this team heading into the playoffs. And that's pretty much all I gotta say. And I'll come back with more details later on because we just got started practicing in the crisp, cold outdoors. Until then, we'll just have to wait and see what's to come for the Ravens. That's my recent report. Right now, as we await the playoffs. With that being said, that's pretty much all I gotta say. Let's get it.